Hello, this is Leisha Breen with Journey to Greatness, 365 days to your best year yet. And as you know, over the past several weeks, I have been talking about self-love, that we have to make a commitment first before we can create that life of our dreams to love ourselves. It's a commitment. And what does that commitment look like? It looks like doing the things you need to do right by you, not in a narcissistic way, not in a greedy way, but in a way that represents what Shakespeare once said, "To thine own self be true." Do your habits represent an individual that truly respects themselves, that truly loves themselves, that feels they are worthy of the abundance that we are all born into? The abundance that is there just waiting for all of us. Loving yourself means taking care of yourself, including rituals into your life that are thought out, planned out, and appropriate for the direction that you want to go in your life. I've said it before. Too many, most live their life on autopilot. They blindly are dragged along through their entire lifetime, living a life as set forth by society, and don't take the time to think about what it is that they want to experience in this journey. The journey to greatness is about deciding what you want to create, because you love yourself enough to take those steps to create that vision. And what do you have to do to create that vision? What are those steps? What are those rituals? Do you need to be eating better? Do you need to stop smoking? Do you need to take classes? Do you need to go back to college to get a better skill set in some particular field? It's making conscious choices out of awareness so that you can choose rightly, and rightly by you. So as we move forward in these podcasts, I will continue to remind you that our first commitment before we do anything else is to commit to love ourselves. Not in a narcissistic way, not in a greedy way, in a way that benefits you and benefits the world around you. I have talked about meditation, and I don't know if you have started that practice, but it is a ritual that will help you become clear about the way you have been living. And it may be difficult for some of you in the beginning, and that's really normal. When we really sit down and begin the process of meditation, the monkey mind, that self-talk mechanism in our brain, it is running wild for a lot of people, and it becomes very frustrating and irritating because we, after a few weeks maybe of trying to meditate, we don't believe that we can ever really relax into a state of quietness or bliss. These thoughts, negative and positive, they will just barrel through your brain, and you just don't feel like you can get a handle on it. Well, it's not about quieting the mind. Let's talk about that for a minute. It's not about, eventually that does happen, but it's not your goal is not to quiet the mind. Like, oh, you've got to be quiet. Just please be quiet. No. It's about letting those thoughts, as quickly as they may be coming at you, to float over you like a cloud. And they can be coming pretty quick. Sometimes they can be more like bullets, not clouds. But I want you to think of them as clouds, just floating over your head. They come and they go. Your job is not to judge them, but to be the observer and just become aware of them. And it's in those moments of awareness that we start to become introduced to who we are, to how we are, who we've become. But mindfulness meditation, it is an essential tool that will open your eyes to who you are and how you are being and how you have been. The good, the bad, and yes, even the ugly. But to love yourself, you have to look at all the elements of yourself. your best year yet, it involves a journey. And this journey can be really exciting, but it's into your current mindset. It's into your current habits, and the journey is into looking at and observing your rituals. And from these observations, we make better choices. We have then the ability to make better choices. And then again, that's a choice to make choices or not. We create a new mindset when we love ourselves that serves us and results in these healthier choices. You see, our choices, they stack up on top of one another, and they create a cause set in motion, and eventually, our choices create the life we live. Our choices, big and small, and I will submit the small ones can be more devastating than the big ones because they're kind of insidious. They're just kind of down there underneath the conscious level, and we've built them into habits, and then they just kind of happen without our awareness of them happening, and they can be very negative. So our choices matter, and our awareness of our choices matter, and they often result, all of them, from a place in our head that is less than aware. Now, this tool of mindfulness meditation wakes us up out of a state of sleepwalking through life. Too many of us run on autopilot. And to create the life of our dreams and go beyond where we are today, we must become a private investigator and discover our hindrances and, yes, our strengths. Today, let's take a look at your strengths. It isn't easy to build a rock foundation of self-love and self-respect if you don't know your strengths. When you acknowledge and embrace your abilities and your gifts, you will be able to use them to build that tower of lifelong success. You will enable yourself to push your way through problematic hurdles and roadblocks that life may hand you, especially right now. Things can be tough for a lot of people. Now, knowing your weaknesses, that's important too. You may not think of your flaws as the best parts of you, but imperfection is really and truly potential in disguise. Think about it this way. It represents an area of your life that you can continue to develop, something you can grow from. As you develop these opportunities, they become something bigger, better, and bolder. And you become stronger because you have actually dealt with a weakness and you've developed it and you've overcome it. It builds your confidence muscle. Take a look at your weaknesses as a type of seed that you're planting in a garden. With effort and attention, this weakness, or all of them, has the potential to be big and strong, like an oak tree. As long as you tend to it, as long as you give it the love and attention that it needs. And firstly, you have to be aware of it. The right kind of self-care and a growth mindset, it will lead you, it will evolve you, and it will turn your weaknesses into strengths. This, honestly, will take time, depending on where you are in the progression of life. If your weaknesses are something that you've developed through habit over the years, decade after decade, and you've just become aware of these weaknesses, it's going to take time to change them. It will not happen overnight. It will happen by making a decision to change them and then working toward finding a way, a method to overcome the weakness, and then implementing what you've learned about overcoming the weakness. You'll have to obtain skills. You'll have to learn. You'll have to grow. And all of that is the process of loving yourself enough to do the things you need to do right by you. We all have weaknesses, but most of us, we just slide through life. We just kind of slide through it, and we don't make the changes we need to make. It takes work on yourself. Remember this. Yes, it will take time, but remember you're worth it. With all this in mind, let's take a quick journey into our mini mindfulness meditation. And today we're going to do a meditation I've already done. It's called What I Like About Me. So I want you to sit down. I want you to get comfy and cozy like always. And if you're driving your car, pull it off to the side of the road. We don't want you meditating while you're driving. And I want you to sit up in a dignified manner because you should respect yourself. You should know you are worthy of the good things in life. We all have areas of opportunity. And today we're going to focus on what we like about ourselves. We're going to focus on the positive. Today we're going to focus on what we like best about ourselves. So you should be in your position right now, and I need you to sit up straight and close your eyes and take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. We'll do this 3 times. Deep breath in and release. Deep breath in and release. Deep breath in and release. Now choose one characteristic, not a physical trait, but something about your character. Focus on that one characteristic and think about why you like this about yourself. Think about how this characteristic has helped you to become successful. Now take a deep breath in through your nose and release through your mouth. How can you use this characteristic today? How can you use it to lead you and others to success today? Think about this. How can you work on making this characteristic even stronger? What deliberate choices can you make to help yourself get stronger at this? Now let's take 3 deep breaths in and out through our nose and our mouth. And we're going to go ahead and take that deep breath in and release. Deep breath in and release. Deep breath in and release. Reflect for a moment on that characteristic one more time and how you're going to use that to make your day even better and bolder and brighter and helping yourself and those around you. Well, I want to thank you for joining me today for Journey to Greatness. And I hope that you will take a look at your strengths and your weaknesses and reflect through your personal gifts and how you can develop those weaknesses into something that's going to be strong like an oak tree. Because you can, because you're powerful, because you're capable, because you're smart. You may not believe that right now. And I don't know you personally, but I know that about you. Because I know what you've come from. Greatness. Be bold, be brave, and always, always be your authentic self. Until we meet again.